What is up, everybody? Welcome to How to Make Trading Simple, where we teach you how to make trading simple. Today, I'm going to be going over market structure and giving you guys a market structure masterclass. So make sure that you do not miss this, because it's some very, very important information that I'm going to break down and make it very, very simple. So without further ado, let's get into it. The market structure masterclass. First, for understanding market structure, you need to understand what a high and a low is. So I'm going to draw something basic for you guys. For example, let's say that this is a price chart right here. So you got your highs and your lows. Well, first you need to understand what a high and a low is. So essentially, on this diagram, it's a lot easier to understand what a high and a low is. Basically, a high is the highest point before price retraces. So that would be a high, this would be a low, this would be a high, this would be a low, this would be a high, this would be a low, and so on and so forth. So price isn't always going to move, obviously, exactly like this. Is just a simple diagram for you to understand what a high and a low is. If a low is created, price will create a low, like so, and then retrace, and then leave this point here, where it's kind of like a pivot in price. So that's like the simplest explanation of highs and lows. And then obviously I'll draw this out. That's a high, this is low, high, low, high, low, high, low, and another high. To understand when market structure breaks, which we're going to get to that in a little bit, you need to understand what a high and a low is. So when price is bearish, that means it's going down. And when price is bullish, that means that it's going up. So where are the highs and lows in this example? I want you to see if you guys can get the first few. I'll give you like 10 seconds to see if you can get the first few highs and lows on here before I draw them out. Alright, so if you guys didn't already, this is a low, 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 this is a high, this is a high, this is high, this is high, and this is a high. Before we head to actual candlestick charts, I want to show you guys what a break of market structure is. So break of market structure, or we can simplify it as BOS, break of structure, is essentially when a high or a low is breached and price is giving an indication if it's bearish or bullish by breaking that high or breaking that low. For example, if price is bullish, and remember, bullish, to understand bullish, it's as simple as just price is going up. Okay, so if price is bullish, how do we know that price is bullish? Well, we're breaking highs and not breaking lows. Do you see any lows that were broken? Where are the lows? These are the lows, right? You can see each low is higher than the other low, and you can see each high is higher than the other high. This is bullish market structure. Now, to understand what a market structure break is, I'll do another example for you guys real quick. It's essentially just when a high is breached. So for this example right here, we see a market structure shift. What do we see? We see a high here, see a low here. This low breaks this high. Now we have a market structure shift. Now price is officially bullish. Price is going down. Where do we see? We have a high here, we have a low here, and then this low breaks this previous low. So that is a market structure shift. Now price is officially bearish. Alright, so things you need to learn, which we discussed here: highs and lows. Once you learn how to identify your highs and lows, then you can identify break of structures, or BOS. Remember, BOS just stands for break of structure. This tells you if price is bullish. Remember, bullish just means that price is going up. And this also determines if price is bearish. Remember, bearish just means that price is going down, essentially. Once you understand highs and lows and you understand break structure, then you understand the basics of how market structure works. Market structure, we just use this to identify highs and lows and breaks of structure, so we know if the market is trending bullish, remember up, or if the market is trending bearish, remember down. So that's the simplest explanation. So now we'll head to the candlestick charts and we'll do the same thing that I just went over here, but on live charts to make it easier. So this is actually recent price action on ES or S&P 500 futures. So we're going to look at this portion of price action. Sorry, let me grab this so I can highlight it for you. We're going to be looking at this portion of price action right here. So what we're going to be doing is, remember, to understand market structure, the first step that you got to do is understand highs and lows. So the easiest way to do that, especially when you're just learning, is to identify your highs and your lows. So we're going to go ahead and identify highs and lows within this price action that I highlighted. All right. So I'm gonna give you guys 10 seconds to identify any highs and lows in here, and then I'll go over it, and then you guys can see if you were correct. All right, so I'm about to highlight the first low. Hopefully you guys identified it. If not, this will break it down very easy. So what do we see here? We see a low here. This is a low. We have a high here. See how a price comes down, it creates this low, and then it retraces a different direction. That's officially a low. And you see how price comes up here, then it retraces a different direction. That's officially a high. It's that simple. Then what do we see here? We have a low here. We have a high here. We have a low here. We have another high. We have a low here. A high here. Another low here. And we have another high here. And then we have another low here. And we have another high here. So now you can see, it's when you break it down like this, it's very, very simple to actually see what market structure is doing. So I'm going to take, if you guys remember the example that I showed you guys earlier with like the simple breakdown example with just the lines going up and down, watch, I want to show you guys something. Let me make this a little bit, yeah, like that. I want to show you guys something real quick. So what do we see? We're just going to trace low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, and then now we're creating a new low. So when we look at price like this, let me make this a different color just so it's a little bit easier to see. If you look at it like this, and then we can just take this off. If you look at this, this looks a lot similar to the first example we were showing, right? On the bearish side. So it's really that simple. This is how you can break down market structure. So now that we identified the highs and the lows, remember we have to identify if price is bullish or bearish to actually use market structure to our advantage. So how do we know when price is bullish or bearish? It's when we break a low with the candle body close. So for example, I will show you guys all the breaks of structure. So let me get this trend line and do this. So I'll mark out the first break of structure for you guys right here. And let me get rid of this shaded box and then zoom in for you guys a little bit. So this is our first break of structure. Why? Because we broke below these candle bodies at this low. With this candlestick's body, we broke below it, and this candlestick body closed below it. So this is a break of structure. Okay? And then we can see, once again, as I was saying previously, we have the classic break of structure move like we were showing on the simple example. Price broke the low. So that's one break of structure, and I'll just go ahead and mark out all these other break of structures. So we have break of structure on this low, and we can see if we come up to this high, we actually did have a break of structure on this high, but then price reversed. It broke below this low, which I actually forgot to mark this low out for you guys, but this is a low as well. So sometimes they can it can be a little bit tricky because price might create a bunch of lows and highs like in a smaller area. So this is when you have to really pay attention. So you would be like, well, we broke this high, so shouldn't we be bullish? Well, yes, we were bullish after we broke this high, but then right after, immediately, we broke below a low, so we were bearish again, and that's why price went lower. So we broke this low, came, retraced, then we broke this low. We came down, created a low. What did we also do? At the same time, breaking this low, we broke these lows down here as well. We broke these lows with this candle's body. We retraced, created a high, and then we broke these lows that we just created. And then we went down, created a new low, and then we broke this low as well. So it's actually very, very simple once you break down price action like this. So remember, identify your highs and lows. Let me just write this all down for you guys so you guys can see it again. Identify, man, I can't type, sorry. Identify highs and lows. Identify breaks of structure, or BOS. And then this will show you the current, show you the trend. And this is how, this is literally all you need to do to understand market structure. You need to understand highs and lows, when the highs and lows are broken, creating a break of structure. Then that will be the market structure showing you whether price is bullish or bearish. Remember, that's just showing you the trend. Bullish means it's going up, bearish means it's going down. This is a classic bearish scenario. We can see we're breaking lows, breaking lows, breaking lows, breaking lows, breaking lows, breaking lows. So this is a classic bearish scenario. And honestly, that's about it. That's probably one of the easiest ways that market structure can be broken down, is to simply identifying the highs and lows, waiting for the highs and lows to be broken by a candlestick close, and then when price shows a break of structure after breaking a high or a low, that shows you the trend, and then later on you can understand how to use that trend and how to enter off of it, which will be later videos. I think that's about all that I have today. Make sure to let me know if you have any comments, questions, concerns. I'll be happy to help any of you guys out in the comments. This will be the first video of kind of like a full course, or maybe essentially like a beginner series. I'll probably do some of the other concepts that I use in my strategy after this. But yeah, this is the Market Structure Masterclass. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully it makes sense. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.